Okay, we're heading to the Beck Museum here down in St. George, Utah with the United We Pledge. So come along with us as we go tour all of these historic artifacts.
Candles, Bible.
This is a vampire hunting kit, late 1800s. That is pretty cool.
There's a pistol in there.
There's the pistol.
So our is you have a choice. Their government and how they do things. That was into the murder and criminalization of each other. This time in Jamestown history is known as the starting time. Now, Jamestown originally started with around 300 colonists. At the end of this
One of the earliest print books naming America, 1550, right here, Pops.
If you're ever looking to be able to share a success story, this is it. Definitely was on that.
So help you God.
The artifacts we have right here, this is the 1619 project. 2 years further than 1619. Some of us, okay?
Most of this country.
So for those of you who haven't, the 1619 project is an article that was written by the New York Times, basically stating that America was not founded July 4th.
That King James Bible from 1616 right there.
Earlier in August of 1619, when a slave ship came and landed on the coast of Jamestown.
History of Plymouth.
Okay, so that is incorrect. Everything in this article is full of historical inaccuracies. Okay? We know this because in this particular collection, we have several documents.
What's that down there?
That prove.
I don't know. This
One of them is this right here. This is the Virginia Company Promotion Tract. It was written
could be.
in 1620. Just one
Maybe
year
this is the
after
draft of the Independence.
America was founded, and it has a first-hand
The
account
Plymouth.
in it
Some
of
paintings.
what actually happened down August of 1619, proving the 1619 project was. Some other artifacts we have right here. This is the
The Witch, City, Salem, 1962.
We also
Witch
have
Trail
right here,
Judgment
this is
Center.
a cannon
Look at that penmanship.
that was used by the
You know what I mean?
in battles against the Native Americans. Fun fact about this cannon, the last time
And that's
it was
not with
fired
a ballpoint
was
pen.
only 50 years ago. So it is a real cannon, it does work, and we're super lucky having it in the collection. If we want to turn our attention to Plymouth,
That's pretty cool.
all right. And again, feel free to come in close so everybody can see you here. Okay, so Plymouth, it was established just 13 years after Jamestown in 1620. Now, the Pilgrims, they did not come looking for wealth, riches, they came looking for religious freedom. Back over in England, King James and the Church of England, they had a very tyrannical rule over the people. And they were not allowing the Pilgrims to worship how they wanted to. And so the Pilgrims, they
Pretty sure those are the wrong cannonballs for that cannon.
Oh, I'm sure that
they were very well educated on the
The cannonball didn't fit the cannon.
Plymouth was a success. The reason that Pilgrim was so successful than Jamestown was because they had heard of Jesus. They knew of the failures and events such as the starting time, and they understood that one of the biggest reasons that those took place was because of their system of government for themselves. And so with everybody they proved to be very successful. Not only that, but unlike Jamestown, who battled the Native Americans, the Pilgrims, they befriended the Native Americans. Even going so far as to trade treaties with them, treaties that lasted over 50 years. And it was the Native Americans who teach the Pilgrims agriculture. They showed and shared with them
God's blessing liberty, God's curse slavery.
taught the Pilgrims how to survive in the New World, having to build from the ground up. Now, it was between the Pilgrims and the Native Americans that in 1621 they sat down together and they had a feast. We know this feast today is the first Thanksgiving. They talk about pharaohs and others who could be characterized as tyrants, and they talk about them in a very negative way. And so King James, being a tyrant himself, did the very tyrannical thing of banning the Bible. Now we also have pages right here. These pages are from the first Bible written in America. These are the John Eliot
Executive.
They are written in.
This is from for in Florida, trading the slavery in 1610. Yeah.
At the time, the Native Americans, they did not
I mean, look how.
I know.
They only had a spoken language.
It's
And
amazing.
so John Eliot, he believed.
Yeah, that's about the slavery trade in Florida, 1610.
And this included the Native Americans. And so
J.
what he
Cotton.
did was he spent 13 years creating this written language for the Native Americans to be able to translate the Bible into it and give the Native Americans an opportunity to study and learn of God and of the Bible. We also have some artifacts.
So Charles Carroll, the last surviving signer of the Declaration of Independence, 1828, right here. Yep.
It was just a period of 18 months in American
I have the honor of the commission.
27 individuals were wrongfully put to death because they had been falsely accused of being either a witch or a warlock.
Yeah, May 22nd, 1828.
Time, look around at all the artifacts.
Deed of King Philip of Frame King Philip's War, 1962.
The next part of the exhibit is a self-guided work. So when you get in there, just look around, hang out, and when the docent in the next room is ready, he will get you guys and take you through his part of it. Thank you.
From 1657. I mean, I want to know how much of that is still, like, readable. That's volume 1. Pretty cool, though, from how the Bibles have come from that to what they are now. Book of Mormon, 1830.
Have to bring somebody here.
Yeah. It's a Brigham Young now. This is the wood from the last Liberty Tree.
All right, let's get started then. Here behind you guys, this is the signing of the Declaration. Independence Hall, Philadelphia, July 4th, 1776. Now, what makes this picture interesting is how big is our Declaration? It's a page, right? I mean, it's a huge page, but it's a page. Now, in this picture, Thomas Jefferson and the Community File is not presenting expensive or rare, but what makes them so important is just a couple. The reason why that final grievance was not included is because John Hancock, president of the convention in Philadelphia, said that we knew that unless we hung together, we would be aimed separately. That is why he added the one word, unanimous, to our declaration. Because unless every single 19th project does not like to mention is our Revolutionary War black heroes. Now, pretty much everyone knows about our Revolutionary War, but seldom do they know about our black heroes from that war. Now, raise your hand if you can name one without reading these behind me of our black heroes. Anyone?
No, it's like John Hancock because he was one of his men that biggest.
Yep.
All right, that is the second answer I've gotten out of all my groups today, guys. To go spy on the very men that you hate so much. So James Armistead is sent to the British camp as a runaway slave. There.
Year-olds was going to be speaking to you today. I wish I had the spirit when I was 14, but it didn't really work out that way. My name is Austin. I work for Glenn. I'm the curator for this collection, so I'll be going through everything, and I will ask y'all for gave them their first taste of independence, giving them the ideas of what they could be as a nation. And it started bringing those ideas of independence and liberty and freedom under God to the surface. Now, Thomas Paine is also known as America's first atheist, which is an interesting contrast. The man that unified the colonies that were very, very Christian at the time, bringing all of those works to the surface, being friends with people like George Washington, a very outstanding Christian you're going to learn about in the next room. Friends with Benjamin Franklin, who, while he might not be the most spiritual founding father, surely knew more scriptures than myself based on how many times he
be safe from this one.
His only speech in front of Congress was 14 lines on 14 scriptures. I can't even think about impromptu speaking here right in front of you, choosing a topic and having 14 scriptures based on a single topic. That's crazy, but Thomas Paine, friends and working relationships with all these people, in America's first atheist. Does anyone know why we call him the first atheist?
Do you want to take these guns out and shoot them, David?
All right, so no one knows. Has anyone heard that he's the first atheist? Because that's what academia calls it. Okay, so we have a few people. So Thomas Paine, towards the end of the war, he started printing more material. One of them was this one right here, the American Crisis.
I like the design on that.
Legend of how that came about. He started writing on the leather front.
Let's say what?
And then had that delivered to Washington.
What area this
Across the Delaware to the Southern troops. Let's read a portion of it
Maybe
here.
up over there in that document.
Okay, so y'all know it's really weird switching the speaker to the other side.
Never hurt to step on, huh?
Horses.
Well, that's for horses?
Yeah, they lay those out for horses.
Portion of American Crisis over there, it says, these are the times to try to
I'm not sure what, I would assume that would
be
rounds from the basketball, so I'm not
for the
sure.
service of their country. The he that stands by it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell,
They're all weapons, so I don't understand what
That, I think, would be a cannon.
yeah, we have this
musket or
constellation of
gunpowder.
the
Yeah.
harder the conflict, the more
And look how small that hatchet is.
the triumph.
That's probably
They
on a
attain
boat.
to cheat.
Is that like
Is
a
he
compass? Yeah.
This deer is only that
I don't know.
it's valuable.
Do you see how thick that metal was though on that?
The summer day tree.
It's like that thick.
Good weather.
It's probably just heavy enough just to go down
We
there.
live when it's PC. Every day. And in fact, they actually got caught before they came there. Dogs started barking at them. That old oncoming soldier didn't do
start talking about George Washington.
It's taken to General Gordon Law.
George Washington was a man of faith. George Washington said, "It is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, and to humbly implore His protection and favor." George Washington didn't just do that as a personal individual, but also like the messaging. So think how one didn't want it ended up in Mr. Beck's collection. But only George Washington was a man of faith. Amazing part about culture. What we're looking at here is this is actually just a radio cap. It is from Boston, Massachusetts. This is what they put in the center of the apartment building in honor of George Washington. Now today is synonymous with America itself. He actually started
Alexander Hamilton.
at 14 years old. George Washington was
the rings inside the head.
and on one surveying compass,
the hairs inside
the ring.
surveying compass, all in
Warning ring, George Washington's hair in a ring owned by Alexander.
what we do today with
So that's actual George Washington's hair.
really unfortunate circumstances. George Washington got sick one day.
After the attempt by our leading founding fathers to instill their conviction, not all men were created equal. So there's some of the swords up here, locks and keys. This was actually used if a slave had tried to run away, then this was used to make sure that they didn't escape again. So they put this around their ankles. So whenever they walked or tried to run away, it made noises like that, so they were not able to escape. This back here, in that case, that is a collar that was used on the slave ship, so they put that around their necks. The purpose of it was just to constrain the slaves, and on the ships, they were already packed in there really tight. So if they had tried
Success story to share. Don't look at Jamestown because it's not. Okay. Some artifacts we have here. This is the 1619 project. 2 years early, 1619 project. Okay. A few of us. For those of you who haven't, the 1619 project is basically magazine that America was not founded July 4, 1776. It was actually founded much earlier.
Saying that black Americans, only black Americans, fought to make them true is also disgusting. Because that's not true. And while, of course, numerous black soldiers, to the tunes of thousands, died to obtain their freedom and freedom for their children, plenty of white Americans gave their lives, fortunes, and sacred honors to make freedom for the black slave come to fruition. America is the only country on the face of the planet that fought a war in which a group of white men in the North fought a group of white men in the South, and it resulted in the death of 2% of the entire U.S. population to free black slaves. 2%. And last time I checked, when I looked at the voting rolls of the 13th Amendment, that slavery nor involuntary servitude, except where the party been duly convicted of in the United States or any place subject to the jurisdiction, was only passed by federal congressmen who were all white men. That counts for something. However, 1619 Project, apparently they like to give the impression that only black people fought for their freedom. No, that is not true. And history would reflect Charles Sumner. Charles Sumner was a senator in the United States Senate who fought against slavery at every point he could. Eventually, he ended up paying a very dear price when he stood up and he essentially said that the buyer of slavery is equivalent of a man going to a harlot at night, the harlot of slavery. That made Preston Brooks of South Carolina so angry that he grabbed his cane, ran up from the House to the U.S. Senate, and proceeded to beat Charles Sumner in the head with his metal-sized cane. He sustained such terrible damages that he ended up having numerous paralysis issues throughout his body. He ended up having brain swelling. He put a gag order on him because he said, look, all you do is talk about slavery regardless of whether the legislative topic is slavery or not. Enough. So he put a gag order on him. after the gag order was lifted. 13 years you've been in the United States House, and not only have you not gotten anything done against slavery.
Cane used to assault Senator Charles. Is this really the actual caner?
Grandpa stayed up 5 feet in your life.
Now this is the sister gun that killed Abraham Lincoln. So this right here is a portion of his overcoat with his blood and stains on it, worn the night that he was shot. Right there, Dad. Where? Right here. This was the cuff that was around him right here. Oh, I see bloodstains on it. And then his hat. It's a cuff link. This replica.
This is from Europe. You'll be able to see some of the tools they use.
Indian used rifle from the Battle of Wounded Knee.
Feel free to take a look around for a few minutes, take some pictures, and when you guys are ready, now to the next room, great interview.
Where was the bathroom in the water?
Oh, it was down that hall over there.
There's snap through there. I gotta get it.
I saw the
The results that came out of their arrogancy and what happened when good men stayed silent. Now we're going to start over here. Right here. These are President Theodore Roosevelt's eyeglasses, and that is a page from a speech he had in his pocket during an assassination attempt. Now, some insight on that. That speech was 60 pages long and it took about 90 minutes to say the whole thing. Now, when he would fold it, it would become like 120 pages essentially, right? Titanic sank this morning, the 15th after collision with iceberg. Serious loss of life. Carpathian picked up many passengers and proceeded to New York. That's how the world found out about the ship sinking. Now these two paintings on the side were done by the plein air, and they're usually being timed by the sun. They're known for being able to paint really, really fast. Because of the sun's timing them, once the sun moves, it'll change the entire lighting and setting of the whole scenery. That is what that she was for like about a month due to the exposure of the icy air. Like the icy air practically left them cloudy, then not very cloudy. Fighting over who could get the most contracts, who could make the most money, and whose electricity was safer. Edison believed in AC power, Tesla believed in AC power, and Edison believed in DC power. Now, between this fight or war, is to proceed to background.
Not in any untitled person, but it must be able to follow. You must all know how to listen. Who are the listening to the word? Who are more troubled in the world? And I think it is in make everybody come before a properly appointed board, just as he might come before the income tax commissioner, and say every 5 years, every 7 years, just put him there and say, sir, or madam, now will be kind enough to justify your existence. If you can't justify your existence, if you're not pulling your weight on the roof, if you're not producing as much as you can do, or perhaps a little more, then clearly we cannot use a big organization of society for the purpose of keeping you alive, because your life does not benefit us, and it cannot be available. I object to all punishment whatsoever. I don't want to punish anyone. But there are an extraordinary number of people whom I want to kill. Not in any untitled or person exists, but it must be evident to all of you. You must all know how to govern children. Who are you in this world? Who are more troubled in the world? And I think it would be a position to make everybody come before a properly appointed board, just as they might come before the income tax commissioner, and say that for 5 years, 7 years, put them there and say, sir,
Follow the science, Dad. It's always been.
you can't you're not putting your weight. You're not giving
Yes, I did.
clearly, we cannot use a big organization of keeping you alive, because your life does not benefit us. And we can't be all this. I object to all punishment for all. I don't want to punish anyone. But then, how many number of people who I want
See
to
the
kill?
people.
Not in any untitled or personal sense, but it must be evident to all of you. You must all know how to govern. Who are you in this world? Who are more troubled in the world? And I think it is to make everybody come to the You must all know how to govern. Who are you listening to? Who are more troubled in the world? And I think it would be a mistake to make everybody come before the properly appointed board, just as they might come before the income tax commissioner, and say every 5 years, every 7 years, just put it there and say, sir, or madam, now we'll be kind enough to justify your existence. If you're not pulling your weight, if you're not producing as much as you can do, or perhaps a little more, then clearly we cannot use the big organization of our society for the purpose of keeping you alive, because your life does not benefit us, and it can't be of very much use. I object to all punishment whatsoever. I don't want to punish anyone. But there are an extraordinary number of people whom I want to kill. Not in any untitled or personal sense, but it must be evident to all of you. You must all know how to govern children. Who are you listening to? Who are more troubled in the world? And
What's the difference from what you're doing now? Absolutely nothing. But you're talking about it, that it nowadays it's just fine. Here's the case, Roe versus Wade, right here, Pops.
Yeah.
That finally got overturned.
It's too late.
Yep.
It's too late.
They're close to see the babies. They're teeny.
Yeah, they are teeny
They're
tiny.
teeny tiny. All the
Yeah.
babies that were killed. They're black. Rubber black.
Here's Roosevelt's wheelchair, Pops. And his desk. Oh no, this is presidential. This is from the movie JFK, 1981. His stand. I mean, look at. Doesn't even look comfortable.
Yeah.
His father was raised by a white French family, so he spoke fluent French and had put in France, wanted to go to France and ran away from home at the age of 11. He was able to stow away on a German ship and he learned to speak fluent German. He landed in Sweden where he became a Navy officer because he had lived with some gypsies when he left home and he taught him some fancy footwork that made him a successful officer. So he traveled to Sweden, France, and became a gunner on an aircraft. He was shot down in Asia, but he learned how to be a pilot.
What?
Have you seen the movie on Netflix?
This is Normandy flag.
That's a flag that was flown at Omaha Beach.
Omaha Beach?
Yes, they thought it was lost in the battle, but somebody had taken it from the ocean and brought it home. And years later, a neighborhood kid came knocking at his door, asking if he had any relics from the war. He said, "Oh, I got this old flag in the attic. You can have it for Omaha Beach." So that's where it had been all those years.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You haven't seen this movie?
No.
Then you need to. Yeah, it's PG-13. It's all about the guys that decoded this machine, which is what the Nazis were using to communicate subs.
It's
pretty good?
I've seen it twice. So you can just search it in Netflix. I would want to see it.
You know, so you're what their lives were like and it's absolutely impressive.
Winston's Churchill cigar, Travis.
I didn't even see that. I had to buy it. Oh, that's cool.
Adolf Hitler's personal keys.
No, well, it was not nice to hear. Yeah, well, I didn't have
A piece of the tile.
I'm really glad you said something. This is stuff I like. All right, where's your turn? All right, drive safe. So they made 100 of these, 100 dead rats, and they put explosives in them. And then they parachuted them over behind the lines, and they were going to take all these dead rats and fill the piles of coal everywhere. So when they got shoveled in furnaces and trained in.
There's a lot of Nazi stuff. I said he has a lot of Nazi stuff. This is Japan.
So they shut everything down. James Bond.
Why is that one all bloody?
I think it's just like an antique that is because it's more about the Adolf Hitler's formal napkin ring.
That's why they put like a nice napkin in there or something.
Maybe that's the original napkin and it's just aged out. Bad Man at Work. Christopher Reeve, Superman costume. There's Captain America. Movie props. Braveheart. The Wizard of Oz. That's what Disneyland was supposed to be right there.
Yeah.
Walt Disney World.
They did his casket and cut his beard off. Because that is stick.
Yeah, yeah, he was clean shaved. Braveheart sword. Beck. Christian Bale's Batman. Oh yeah, Willy Wonka.
Golden ticket.
And the
I
golden
think that's
tickets.
funny. There's the jewel.
Alright guys, I paid an extra $20 to get a click that remote.
Okay.
It's a hoverboard. It's a hoverboard from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I thought you said hoverboard.
Do you know where he got this from? Pawn Stars.
Really?
No, for real. I saw that on Pawn Stars.
WNBC.
Yeah, but where is Mike from Rush Limbaugh?
Oh, Rush Limbaugh. It's probably still up over here.
Oh, did you see the golden ticket?
Yeah, I took a picture of it too, so I could send it to my kids. No. But was it back in the day when you were watching the show? You got the Marshmallow Man.
I know.
Ghostbusters. Robin Williams jacket, Dad. That's Robin Williams jacket from Goodwill Hunting. Yep. I Love Lucy. Johnny Carson's mug used on his desk during the Tonight Show. Star Trek. Here's Indiana Jones, Dad. Harrison Ford. Here's Sky Falls. Oh, Katniss Evergreen. What is that, Mockingjay? We have reached the end. So this is all of his art and gift shop. Well, that was a pretty cool experience. I hope that you guys can get a glimpse of everything that we just walked through. Get a glimpse of American history and world history. Some movie props. We got it all. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Stay tuned for more adventures.